Hey guys, what's going on? I'm gonna.
Mr. Hardy, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Eric? Welcome to Crew Call Live. This is going to be my discussion with engineers and cameramen and people working in the sports broadcast industry from crews all over the country. Last week, I had the pleasure of talking to some of the guys on the Fox A show. We had a chance to go over their last game, which was Super Bowl, and then their first game of the season, which was Giants and Washington. Now, you're on, Eric, you're on the CBS A show. And last week, unfortunately, you're a huge Jet fan.
You
And
really got to bring this up right out
well,
of the
I
gate.
mean,
You got to bring this up.
you were the first one to join the meeting. So unfortunately, it's going to be on you right off the bat.
No problem.
I mean, I know how much of a fan you are of football and do it. But before we get to your last game of Jets, I mean, you're a longtime Jet fan and you're a longtime cameraman. All right, let's start with how you got your start doing camera. Where was your first start to do?
I graduated from Hofstra University in 1994, and I got a job offer at the Food Network. And my initial reaction was, who the hell's ever going to watch a channel about food? And boy, it took off. Next thing you know, I was there for about 6, 7 years, working with a bunch of guys that I still today call them friends and coworkers that have done much bigger things than I'll ever do. Tori Livia, for instance, has been directing what Beyonce's world tour, and he's a extremely established Steadicam operator and jib owner. He lives out in California. He does a lot of entertainment stuff, and I still see him at the Super Bowls now. He does the halftime show. He's the Steadicam guy that walks up the talent up to the stage. So he's done very well for himself. Yeah. So I spent about 6 years there, and then it was time to kind of branch off. And I got an opportunity at NBC, and I took a step back, not step backwards. I shouldn't say that. It was a great opportunity, but a friend of mine got me into NBC, and I did master control work, and it was it wasn't what I wanted to do. So it was God, not disappointing, but it just wasn't what I wanted to do. If that makes sense.
I know it wasn't
Yeah,
fulfilling, right? You knew you
yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
be in the business, but that wasn't
yeah,
the
yeah,
part
yeah.
you were in. You were
Sure.
in, but you weren't in the part where you really wanted to be. So
Yeah, yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it took a little more years, just perseverance. And I got married, had a couple of kids, and I was still doing the overnight shift at NBC. And I just got to the point after 9/11 where I just said to my wife, I don't want to be involved with news anymore. It was too depressing. And I kind of branched off, and I got hooked up with Barry Fiak. Started doing a lot of utility work in New York, and then just branched off doing camera work. And then I got my break probably in about 2000, and I want to say 2008. Man, you could fact check me. I could be wrong on my years. Gosh, it flies by. But I was doing a show called DirecTV Hot Pass, and it was a NASCAR program that was on. And I'm a big racing fan too. As much as I'm a Jet fan, I was a big Bill Elliott fan, a big racing fan. I will always defend NASCAR till the day I die. It's the greatest sport in the world. Um,
You're the guy. Well, listen, they have a huge fan base. You can't deny that. I
nope,
mean, but F1's
nope,
coming out. F1 is coming. I mean, I got
huge,
my kids are
huge.
talking F1 stuff, and they never used to talk F1
Yeah,
before.
yeah, it's
So
huge. Yeah. So long story longer, I'm listen. If any of you guys are listening, I'm never short on a story. I get blamed a lot for talking too much, but um, sometimes my stories are worth sharing. Other times I'm told they're not. So whatever.
no,
But
but
yeah, so
I think it is worth it.
I got into the whole sports side of things through Barry Fiak, working as a local guy, and Hardy can attest. We kind of both came up through the same ranks, and you got to pull your weight and learn how to build cameras, learn how to lay cable the correct direction. Um, but yeah, it was listen, I will never trade those years in for anything. It was a great experience, and then I finally got in through, like I said, DirecTV, the Hot Pass, and one of the guys who was kind of instrumental in our union at IBW. His name is Neil Ambrosia. He was one of my producers for DirecTV, and he got me into CBS. So that's how I landed at CBS, and I spent about, oh my gosh, Hardy, you could tell me better than I could. Probably about 10 years trolling around between other shows, and a director who became a very good friend of mine, Andy Goldberg. he took me on. He didn't have to, but he did, and I spent about 5-6 years working on his package.
Right. That was
And
with Carmen
that was
back
with
in those.
Carmen. Yep, Robert Beelan, rest his soul. Uh, uh, who else? Oh, Sal
Oh,
Guglielmo.
Jonathan wasn't Jonathan Berkman, but Jonathan Berkman, I think, was it?
No, yeah, Jonathan Berkham was too. Yeah, but then Robert Beelan.
Yeah,
Did I
yeah,
say Jonathan? Oh gosh, I'm
yeah,
sorry. Robert Beelan, yeah, who passed away
yeah.
sadly. But Jonathan Berkham was on the show. Sal Guglielmo, a couple of
Oh,
legends
Sal.
right
Oh
there.
yeah, Sal in the cart. Sal in the cart. I'm gonna
Yeah,
try to get
yeah.
Sal on Crew Call Live. I want to
We
definitely
should
bring
do it
back.
right now.
Yeah, I want to bring back some of the retirees and some of the people.
Yeah,
That's a big
yeah,
thing about, I mean, what I'm doing with this crafts workshops thing is that I'm trying to promote learning about our industry. And I think the best way to learn about this industry is from other people who are in the industry. I learned so much from the guys that you
sure.
mentioned. A guy like
Yeah.
Sal was so cool about
Sal's great,
sharing.
right? Yeah,
They were great about that. I mean, I used to get my chance to be around those guys before I was
yeah,
doing football because I was doing more Fox football and I was only doing like CBS work for US Open. So I didn't get an opportunity to do
sure.
football
Yeah,
with CBS till much later on.
yeah, yeah. It was yeah. Listen, it was a great learning experience. It was a great opportunity to meet a lot of guys who were oh gosh, I hate the term, but players in the industry, right? You know, they could turn you on to the right people, the right direction, the right people to reach out to, and more importantly, the people who are going to show you how to do things the right way. You know, it was CBS. You know, it still is a great company. Um, when I started, it was more staff guys. There's no staff guys anymore. So if you latch on to the right ones, like a Sal, who I'm texting right now to tell him to get on this thread.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll send them the link.
I'm doing it right now as we speak. Salvatore. This guy's a legend, by the way. Um, but yeah, so from there, listen, Hardy will tell you, just living in New York is a very busy market. So you work hard, you do the right things, you surround yourself with good people. The most important thing, surround yourself with good people, because there's a lot of opposites out there. Um, and you'll do just fine. It's there's a lot of opportunities. Technology has changed to the point where it's like, oh, I'm almost out now, and whoever's listening in, man, you guys got the world by the kneecaps. You guys are going to do just fine. It's the technology. Hardy's much better than I will ever be.
Well, I think the work is changing. I mean, that's for sure. It's just, it's going to be there. I think we as cameramen, our particular craft is, less susceptible to some of the change that we're seeing the remote work. I mean, it's very
Yeah.
hard for us to do our
Yep.
job without, because you know what, the camera guy does look outside his viewfinder as much as guys.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, it's going to be a little bit harder uh, to remote our work, but some of the other crafts will be. That doesn't mean the work is going. It doesn't mean the work is
Yeah.
gone. It's just
Sure.
changing. It's
Sure.
not, what was done in New York might be done in another place somewhere
Yeah.
else remotely
Yeah.
or from home. I mean, if given the opportunity to work from home, would I like to do it? It depends on the gig and depends on the rate, right? That's what everybody would. That's what everybody's will judge it by. You know what I mean?
Depends how many kids are home from college too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen.
So how many years now? You're with CBS a long time now. So I mean,
Yeah.
you started with Goldberg, and that was what they were. Well, in our world, there's the A show, the B show, which is the top. A show is the top market and top team matchup on the weekend. The B show would be the second, the 1 o'clock or
Yes.
the 4 o'clock, best market, best matchup, and the networks decide that, and then that's how they distribute game coverage around the country.
Sure.
Those A and B shows go to the majority of the country, and then everything else is the C show. And basically, if the Browns and the Bengals aren't doing well, chances are it's not going. The game ain't going too far past Ohio. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's always a distribution. But now that you were on the C show, and I was on the C show for many years too before I got to the B show. I never ever got to the A show. I always got.
Hey, you did. You were with us.
I
for a
filled
little
in.
while.
I've been lucky enough to fill in. I've always been thankful and grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah,
To
absolutely.
fill in, but I was never a core guy traveling with you guys or had the opportunity. Did I fish for one? I didn't really. But what I've liked to, I don't know. I mean, you guys have a lot of. I mean, your set days. I've been on them. They're work. You guys have a
Yeah.
lot of equipment on A show. Big show
Yeah.
means a
Yep.
lot of equipment. Now do you guys have a new truck this year?
They never added one, but they're talking about adding one because Mike Arnold, who's our A show director, and Jim Rickoff, who's our producer, they've added a bunch of toys this year. And Mike Arnold's actually pushing for basically the same complement that Sunday Night Football has. They have 2 more low end zones than we have. They have 4, we have 2, which back in the day was run by Spike. Robert Lawton and
Yeah.
Dwayne Rodriguez, who we were lucky enough to have week one. Dwayne showed up and came out to play with us in Green Bay, Detroit. He's a local out there.
Yeah.
And
So
both those guys are sorely missed. They're so talented. So
yeah, both Spike and Dwayne have been on the crew for many years. Well, Dwayne
yep.
not as much, but Spike for many. And
Spike for many years. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I talked to Spike not too long ago, and he's going to jump on one of these calls down the line. And
he said I talked to him tonight. He said he was going to try and jump on tonight.
Yeah, I think he's with his wife doing some Trish who was on the crew that I was on. So we were, which is funny when you see he was traveling and we were traveling, and then they would cross paths at the airport on the way home. So wait, all right, let's get to the fun stuff.
It's a tough way to make a living, right?
Well,
traveling when your spouse travels and you're passing at airports, that's tough.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you talk about the job and what we do and how we do it, I think the worst part of the job is the travel. The work is not we all love. I mean, if you ain't doing this because you love it, then you shouldn't be doing it. Yeah. So the work we loved. I mean, don't tell the guy who's paying me that, but I mean, I love doing
it. There's too many sacrifices if you don't love it. It's not worth it.
Oh, hell, 100%. Yeah. But but do you forget about that? Those sacrifices when you're sitting at the airport and they just delayed your flight because the crew just overworked and they're overtimed and one guy has to walk off, and now you're like, oh my God, now you're not going to get home. And now like all the things that you told your wife and your family, I'll be home for this, I'll be able to do that to-do list, like the balance of work and family and what we do is very difficult to maintain. But let's get back to the work part of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the travel, we can agree that travel can suck sometimes, but that's not the work part of it. Give me an idea what set so are you, not everybody on the crew travels in for set, right? There are some guys who travel work Saturday.
Yeah.
Some guys who come in early.
Correct.
So last week you were at Jets, and so I happened to
see season.
Yeah, well, let's use last week as a perfect example of what the A show could walk into. Last week I was there for a college game on Saturday, which totally screwed up your guys' set days, right? So you end up showing up on Thursday and had to only just drop off gear because you couldn't build anything.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, handful of cameras we could build. Yeah.
So
basically, what happened to us was they bought us. So we did a partial set day on Friday with just 2 camera guys and a bunch of utilities, that's difficult. But these buildings are so big, so it's a lot of steps you get in. It's a lot of walking around. But then Saturday they brought everybody in at, I think it was 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. They brought everybody in, but then the game started that you were working, and we had to be out of the building at 11 a.m. and we weren't allowed back in until 5:30. So we had about 6-7 hours to do nothing. And we were there late. I mean, I think I walked out of there around 8:30, 8:45 at night with a 7 a.m. call time the next day, with a ride back to Long Island. So it's tough. And listen, not all weekends are like that, right? There's a lot of times you come into, say, Pittsburgh and they share those stadiums with University Pitt, and there'll be college games on Friday nights. And next thing you know, you're in at 5 a.m. on a Saturday. When you're traveling in Friday, you land at 11. It's not for everybody for sure, but it is rewarding at the end of the day, I think, right? So otherwise we wouldn't be doing this.
So how many on the CBS A show, how many trucks traveled? You have a follow truck? You have what, 3 production trucks? And then how many follow?
We have 4 and a follow.
So four production trucks. So that means that there's 4 actual trucks that people actually are working in and carry your equipment. And then the follow truck is strictly just equipment that's added on.
And quite arguably that's Mikey Hyvik, he drives the follow truck, and that's arguably the most important truck there is. I mean, if that truck doesn't get in, a lot of equipment doesn't get delivered. The booth doesn't get delivered that you see Jim Nance and Tony Romo in every week. Everything travels in that truck. So
the carts, so you're a 2-cart.
And the carts. Right? Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's right. The carts travel in that truck too. Yep. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
Are you so you have a single cart on the near side and a double cart, or double cart near, single cart far? Or you double cart both sides?
Double cart near, single cart far, and then for the playoffs you go double.
What do you add in the playoffs? Another mo?
No, I don't. That's a great question. I'm not sure. I know we had a double cart onto the far sideline that travels with Keith Reese. So that'll travel with Keith, and the other side is Mike Serio and Jason Dutcher. So they'll bring somebody usually in from the CBS College A show. They'll travel in to run that far side lower end zone, lower cart. So that's how that works.
How many guys are on your show? How many cameramen are on your show? And then how many locals do you pick up when you come to
Okay,
town?
so we pick up 4, and I think we travel 12. Travel 12. So it's camera 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I'm sorry, 4 and 14. 4 and 44 are locals. So 1, 2, 3, 20. 5, 55. So that's 7 right there alone. 6, 9 low end zones. That's 9. McCullough does the reverse. He's on 50. That's
Yeah, what
10.
happened to McCullough was supposed to join the call, man. I'm gonna have to be mad at him now.
I don't know.
He's probably making a CVS run.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he could be doing. You know what? He could be doing the Baltimore Orioles are playing the Yankees tonight. So he could be there.
Oh yeah, I know Serio's on that too.
Yeah, Serio's on there also. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm doing this week. I'm going to be doing this call weekly, and I'm going to have different guys join the call. Actually, I want to invite Mario in because I see Mario is on the call, so I'm going to ask him to.
Mario's on right now.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Mario to jump on.
Let's have a little battle. CBS versus Fox. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, Hardy. Hey, Eric. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Mario? How are you, buddy?
I don't know if you can. I'm driving my car. You had to drop something off. But
there you go. You got your video going? Let me see if I got your
I
video.
don't have my video going because I'm driving, and I think it automatically kills it. You know what I mean?
All right. So then I'm going to for the edit. I'm going to pick the worst.
Oh no, there we go. You see me now?
Yeah, I see you now. But I'm still going to take a bad picture of you for the edit.
What's up, Mario? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Hey, Eric. How you been?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm all right.
There you go. Are you on the road already? You driving to the airport?
No, I'm driving actually home. I was at my cousin's house.
Okay, good, man.
So I've been listening in. It's very good. You're going over all the stuff you should be going over, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, but it's funny because we were getting to the Jets stuff, and like I was thinking about because I had you and a couple of guys on last week, and we were talking about your game, which was the Giants and Washington, and then we
did Kansas City and Philadelphia. Yeah.
No, your first. What was the first game? Oh, yeah. But then last week you ended up with a great game.
That was a great game. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was a great game. It was a close game. It was like kind of boring, you know. I mean, there was a lot. It was a lot. It moved kind of slow. I mean, it was close. That's all that matters. Is it's close, right?
Sure. Yeah, it's better than what we had the first 2 weeks.
You're gonna hold the audience and I mean, we had a better game than we had in week 1. Week 1 we had the Commanders and the Giants. That was a snooze fest. This wasn't exactly lighting the world on fire, but it was a close game.
Our first 2 weeks were brutal. We had Green Bay, Detroit was a blowout, and then we had Jets, Buffalo, which obviously, as a Jet fan, I almost jumped off the
Well, I think the funniest thing, I happened to be I did the studio show for CBS, which is a great show. They launched a new digital show, NFL Today Plus, which was great, a fun show. Chris Long, who's I think is he's really a funny guy, man. He's great, man. He has a lot of energy. I just dig his energy. So,
Howie's son, he's great.
Howie's son, yeah.
Yeah, so I do the show, and then it ends we're off the air at noon. So I can get home by kickoff. And so I came home and I was putzing around in here, and I had the game on over here, the Jet game, and all of a sudden, I had the other game. I had your game, Mario, on the other TV I have up here, and I had the Jet game on behind me, and all of a sudden I look, and they're putting up I guess what you would call a misery graphic. They were showing.
I saw the graphic. I saw Eric on it. Yes, I did see that.
They were showing how well Buffalo was doing, and they had a picture of a player, and they were showing how bad the Jets. Yeah, there it is. That's the graphic. Yeah.
I saw that.
And it ended up being. I'm here watching the game, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So Eric, so you had no idea how did that come about? That all of a sudden you end up being on the air for the graphic to be the face of the miserable Jet fan.
That's true. Mario knows it.
I know.
Yeah, so that happened. That all started at Halloween last year. I was invited by Mr. Sean Winters of Winter Brothers and Waste Management Company. He's the number one. He's the number one tailgate in the NFL every year, and he invited me to me and my wife. We got to ride the bus. It's like he's in the New York Jets Hall of Fame, so this is like a big deal. So we went there, and Malachi Corley dropped the ball before he went into the end zone, and I have Mr. Winters just punched my arm and goes, "Hey, big guy, we just got it." I looked at him. I said, "He dropped the ball before he went in the end zone." He goes, "No, I did. That's a touchdown." I said, "It's a."
Yeah.
So the Amazon guys must have swung over. I think it was Mike V.
Hey, watch your framing on your camera, buddy.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, it's. I'm sorry, it slipped off the one bracket. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
come on.
I'm sorry about that.
Headroom.
So yeah, so they caught me on camera, and that became a meme, which was geez, gosh, not the proudest moment of my life, but
Hey, your thing is slipping again.
I think really. Oh, it is. Oh, here we go. There we go. That's it. Now I'm logged in. So I want to
Hey,
show you. Yeah, I'll show you the meme. So anyway, so Mike Tiffy, who's our TD, and I mean, everyone is going to be, you know, partial to their TDs, but Mike Tiffy is just absolutely phenomenal, and he got on in the fourth quarter, and he goes, "Hey, Brush," he goes, "Take a look at return," and I looked at return, and there was the image of me, yeah, looking like that. It was awesome. I don't wish it on anybody.
Yeah, so graphics had the picture and they use it. I think that's fun. I mean, what I personally
That
loved
was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And then
what
meme.
Yeah, but what I personally loved about seeing that for me was you had on your son's, you were repping your son's college, man. So that was like family stuff. So I like that you had that going. So
yeah, it was all good, right? It was all good.
Yeah, I'm sure your son's in college. You know, the college kids are watching, and they were like, "Oh!" You know, they were screaming for you. So like, you know, that. Well,
yeah, the funny part about the story is not to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but my son called. He sends me a text about 15 minutes after it makes air, and my son just says, and he's a Jeff fan too, and he says, "Hey, Dad," he goes, "When is this shite without the E gonna stop?" And I just wrote, "I know this offense is horrible," and he goes, "No, you at the Maritime had it. He plays lacrosse at Maritime, and he's at a bar in the Bronx." And I guess all his buddies just literally just go, "Oh, your dad's back on television." And I said, "Oh my God, buddy, I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but we stink. It's awful."
Yeah, the crazy thing is they won that game, and you know, because that was one of the few they won last year.
They did. That was the catch with Garrett Wilson in the end zone.
Right.
So there's my meme right there that Mike Tiffy made.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
That's my AVT jersey too, boys. Don't ever question my loyalty. My loyalty to the New Jets.
Right.
To the New Jets. So Mario, tell me about your game. So what?
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just turn my outdoor lights on. I'm pitch black.
Yeah. Fix your lighting. I'll
talk to Mario.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right, go. Yeah, I'm sure he's grabbing a snack too. Who's he fooling? I'm
not grabbing a snack.
But so Mario, you guys have a new truck. I know you guys have a new truck. I've seen it. So you had to go out for a boot camp where you had to check it out. They flew you guys out. You added a lot of equipment. How's the new truck going? What's it called again? Encore?
Ovation.
Ovation.
The truck's
right?
called Ovation.
Game Creek Ovation.
Yeah, and you know, so far so good. It's 2 weeks in. You know, there's a little bugs here and there that they have to work out, but you know, I think we've had two solid shows. I mean, the first one was probably a little better than the second. They really tested the truck last week because we had the pregame show out with us, and you're talking about, you know, that's a lot of gear. You're talking about the game plus a pregame show, and you've seen that, how crazy that can be with a pregame show, right? So yeah, we're you know,
did they sub switch the pregame show through the truck, or did they have their own truck?
They had their own truck. They had their own truck.
Yeah.
They had we had about 9 mobile units there last week. It was nuts.
Oh, that's a big show.
You know, 9 mobile units, all trucks. Yeah, it was a little nuts, but you know, everything went off without a hitch, and we did pretty well.
When you have 9 trucks and you're, I mean, it is a traveling circus because those trucks. Where are you this week?
Chicago. No, there's not going to be 9 trucks though. We have our 3 and the 2 follow trucks basically this week.
So you'll have your Ovation trucks there this week in Chicago. Who is it? Bears? Who is it?
Bears, Cowboys, of course.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We should probably. I mean, let me be honest with you. Like, I think we could have done Eagles and Rams. That'd be a better game, I think. But it's Dallas. They're a big draw. Chicago's a big market.
Better game. Much better.
Well, but you got Dallas with a big, you know, they're a big draw. Chicago's a big market. You know, It's early in the season where these teams are still
Hey, switch your
a
camera
lot.
to 16:9, Mario.
Give me a moment. I'm gonna get on my computer. So there's gonna be two of me on here in a second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the market size is just so that factors in. You know how that works. Like that always factors in.
Well,
Hold on.
are you always on? Are you always on a set day or no?
What do you mean?
You're always on? Because like with Brush's crew on the CBS show, not everybody. Some guys travel work Saturday. Is everybody you guys are all hands on deck?
We're all there on the set day, but we I think they get 2 days to set, right, Eric, or no?
Yeah, we Cubby travels in Thursday and he works all day Friday, and then we have two travel work guys on Friday, and then everybody else is in on Saturday.
Right. Yeah. We have everybody flying Friday, and we do a 1 day set, which is a lot. It's a lot. You know, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. Yeah,
A lot of work. But you know what? We get it done.
How much? And so you with your carts, are you do your carts all your because like we've all seen football shows that travel with the carts, and some carts have to come somewhat assembled, and some carts come where you have to like put the wheels on, put the base together. Like before you even get to putting the camera on the thing, there's a lot of work that has to go into that. But do both your carts travel fully assembled, or is there a lot of work that has to go in before that stuff?
They travel fully assembled into the follow truck. We drive it right in. We leave the pan heads on. You know, we keep them the hard locks off so they can move. You know, because if they're the hard locks are on with the amount of bumping in, you know, movement in a trailer like that on an 18-wheeler. Let's be honest, that could you could do damage to the pan head. We've seen it before, so we loosen we don't loosen them. How should I say this?
I know what you said, but you leave them loose so they can
Yes.
can move with
So
with the momentum. That's actually a good tip to
we leave them loose, and you know we have them. You know we store a lot of people's stuff on there, like you know their cold weather gear, you know, rain gear. A lot of the guys just keep their stuff on the cart, you know, on that trip over the course of the week to get from one city to the other, instead of keeping them in a camera case or something like that. You know, we have them on stuff hanging off the cart. I have a lot of stuff hanging off my cart. It's actually annoying.
You're subletting out space.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're a 2-man cart, and are you high low? Are you is that how it is? Are you high low side by side, or I mean,
I am no, we're high
like,
low. We're high low, and the guy do the lower. I
wait,
do the lower one.
high low meaning are you directly over him, or you're sub behind him and he's a little bit in front of you?
No, I'm in front of him, lower than him.
Okay.
It's Matthew. Matthew McGann is doing the camera. So
Matty, yeah.
Matty does it. So yeah, and then it works out pretty well. I mean,
and now Matty just joined your show this year, or no?
well, yeah, he was on it years ago, and he just
yeah.
came back this year. I'm actually really happy about it. You know.
Yeah, you guys, you got 2 new additions to your show because Artie moved to the Monday Night Football, and Artie was the Fox, pretty much the B show director for I think, or I don't know, whatever letter show he was technically on, but he didn't take his full crew, or his full crew didn't want to leave. Guys who had been with Fox for a long time didn't want to go and stayed with Fox, like Keith. So Keith ended up. Russo, who's your director, was going to take Keith because Keith and once they were available, he's like, I'm just going to take these 2 guys, and that was a perfect addition to your crew because those are both
for
phenomenal, phenomenal. I mean, everybody at your level is phenomenal. I love every time I'm watching the games, I'm like, man, these guys are good, man. I mean, there's so.
I'm not gonna lie. Like last week, I was watching the game, and I'm like, these guys didn't say. It allows. I'm not trying to like gush over my crew, but it allows everybody. You know, someone else is going to have a great shot, so it gives you an opportunity to really go for something. You know what I mean? Because you know if you happen, like there was one play, AJ Brown made this great catch, and you know on the cart, that's a horizontal pan, and I'm trying to stay tight, and I'm like pretty tight on the quarterback. I'm saying like head and shoulders up. You allowed me in?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get on this one. Can you hear me there?
Well, we hear you.
Right? Yeah, you're great. Yeah.
All right, here we go. So basically, I AJ adjust my headroom. AJ Brown.
I love it.
I know
got-
mine keeps tilting out. I know it's crazy, right?
What happened? Everything good?
No,
Yeah, you're
mine
good.
was drifting on me the entire time, up and down.
Yeah.
AJ Brown, like, Hurts throws this pass over the middle, and those are tough to follow on that cart like that if you're trying to stay tight. So as I'm panning, I kind of got the catch. He made a one-handed grab as he was falling and pulled it down, but I overpanned. Then all of a sudden they go the three different angles down there, and it's like three guys. Like Keith had it, Corey had it great, and Gambino, to me, is the top.
Tony's one of the
Tony's-
stars, man. He's a
Tony's
star now,
solid.
man.
He's
He's one of our.
solid.
I don't even. He's not. He was one of the young guys. He's in his 40s now. He's just at the top of his game.
He's real good.
Yeah, he's the
He's
man.
been doing which Mario you did it last. I saw you there a couple weeks ago at Yankee. The Phantom camera, the Phantom camera, which is not an easy camera. Which I did a little feature on, which is a really cool camera that shoots super high speeds. It was kind of developed for like crash test technology and like bombs. They shoot bombs to see how how the cloud goes and all these kinds of crazy ass things. But it was a cool camera, and Tony's been on that for the last couple of years for Mets. So if you're watching for Yankees, you're watching the Yes shows and you're seeing those highlights of Judge crushing home runs in the bats and all that's Tony, man.
Years ago,
him
he had
and
one-
Justin
yeah,
are just nailing it.
He had a shot during the World Series when the Cubs were in there against the Indians, where Francisco Lindor was racing to the bag with Chapman, and he got Chapman's footing in the bag before his. It was like, yeah, that's just the stuff that, he's on a fixed lens on that thing. That's not like you could zoom in and out.
Yeah.
He's basically on a fixed lens tracking a guy, two sets of shoes running to a base. And he nailed it. Like he's just the guy's.
He's so talented, man.
It's not just him though. Like the other end, like Andy Mitchell's he's awesome. Like Kyle Hagan is great. We have like an embarrassment of riches. Buzz is on the other cart, on the other side. Like we just.
Oh, Buzz is with you guys now. Now Buzz is
Buzz. Yeah, he's been on for years. Yeah,
Buzz is like the silent cameraman. He's like he's one of the best. Like he's not because he's just he's been at Fox since day one. Like that's him and Win, and it's probably a handful of other guys. You too, probably Mario.
I started the end of the first year. I wasn't there, and then I got on a tryout with Sandy Screw the next summer, basically in August. But yeah, like Buzz is awesome. Like he's always there. Like he's. Yeah. I'm not trying to like gush over. Like these guys just do such a good job. It just lets you. I don't know. I feel like I have every opportunity to take chances at times, because I know someone else is going to have it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Not to interrupt you, Mario. That being said, every one of those guys you just mentioned, from Mitch to Drano to yourself, obviously, to Tony and Matt, better people than they are operators. Yeah, really good freaking guys, man.
Yeah, we have a
really good bunch of guys, man.
Yeah. Everybody gets along. It's a nice.
And again, and that's part of it, right? Being on the road is getting.
Oh, that's a huge part of the dynamic. You spend a lot of time working with people that and spend a lot of time around them. Sometimes even everybody's going to have their bad day, man. But you know what? Yeah. He's right, man. There is something about people in our business, man. I have to say, like when I look,
we're a special bunch.
Yeah, for sure, we sure are. But it is. I mean, the people that if you're watching this and you're listening to this, and you have an interest in this, it's probably because you realize there's something about it that draws to you. It draws a certain people. Like I remember I always thought like I'm not an office person. I mean, I could not see myself sitting behind a desk all day long behind a computer doing stuff. I needed to. I needed a creative outlet and doing stuff. It's like this was something that I did. My degree is in marketing management. I wanted to be an ad man. I wasn't thinking about TV, but I started thinking about commercials, and commercials started becoming infomercials, like half hour, and then I became thinking about production. Mario, you mentioned something that I have to go back to. You had a tryout. You had actually had a. So do you know how many guys actually had a chance?
Yeah, this is what happened. Like I don't know if Eric is even aware of this. When CBS lost football, I had just started working for them to do NFL. I was very young, but I would call this woman Jane Granite and Jessica Berman constantly to try to get on games. When from the time I was like 20 years old when I started doing utility, and I didn't care. I wanted to do NFL games. That was it. That was like, to me, that was like the pinnacle of like what I wanted to do. And So I bugged them. I finally got in like right at the end of the year. I did like one Jet game. I did a Giant game, and then the next week they lost the contract. So I was like, I felt like I had to start all over again. And fortunately for me, like Jessica Berman went over there, and a lot of their directors went over there. So my name was kind of in the mix at least. But the first year of Fox, all CBS staff were on the Fox games. I don't know if you knew that or not, Eric.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah,
No.
like Hulk worked them games. Those
Oh,
games.
really? Hulk did
Parks.
too? Yeah.
Yeah, Joel Solosky was on the crew.
I think they were all getting paid more money too, right?
They were getting paid like it was basically double pay for Fox, and CBS was
Wow.
basically getting their, they were paying them as well. Like it was a sick agreement. And by the end of the first year, they were like, "We're not doing this next year. We got to get a bunch of freelancers in here that know what they're doing." And like Cornelli was on the crew at that time. Dan Steele, the freelancers at Cornelli, Dan Steele, Terry Jones. You know TJ. You know TJ from he used to be from Houston. Now he's from Arizona.
Arizona. Oh, of
guy.
course. I know TJ.
Hey,
TJ's
man.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great guy.
Who else? Mark Stacy was on the crew.
Oh, I know Mark. Yeah, sure.
So like, and then I had to try out.
Mark's on Sunday night now. He's on Sunday night.
Yeah, he's Sunday night now. Yep.
I had to try out the next year.
TJ's great.
I mean, I'm not gonna name the guy. Like 4 or 5 of us tried out, and I won the spot. I mean, I think it had a lot. I think it had a lot to do with my age. I was like 26, 27 years old at that point. So, but
about 4 years ago,
I was more experienced when I was 20. But I had more experience though because I worked in New York and I did all those. I was doing Devils, Islanders, Rangers home games. I was doing like 75 to 80 hockey games a year. And I don't care what anybody says. That's the hardest sport to shoot, in my opinion.
Without a doubt.
Football wasn't easy, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I was experienced. So
yeah, hockey definitely tight follow hockey definitely tests the best of any camera.
Harder than that. It's like a
humbling camera.
Yeah, so that's how I got my start. At that level, if you want to call it. And Sandy, was really good to me, and I got on the Madden crew, and I'm probably the only guy left from the Madden crew now. To believe it or not.
Is that right? Really?
The only technician left. There are other guys like Russo was on the Madden crew, Z was on the Madden crew, but they weren't like director and producer at that point. They were in other positions, So I think I'm the last one.
So the director, isn't that funny that you're on the Fox A show, and the director and the producer were not the director and producer when you first started. So they had a path to their position. Where did they start? Do you remember seeing Russo was what was he on that show? You said
Russo was the AD at the time on that show.
Oh, it was an AD, so he was already kind of working.
Yeah,
but Russo was also a CBS guy. Was he one of the guys that came over?
Yeah, he worked for CBS beforehand, and he came over to Fox. I don't know if he was an AD at that point yet. I think he was, or a BA. But I know he was an AD. I think the first year he worked with Jeff Gowen and Kevin Harlan and Jerry Glanville. Yeah, I believe that's.
I love.
Oh my gosh, Jerry Glanville.
That was great.
You know what NFL stands for, right? Not for long.
Yeah, right.
Decisions like that. You know what? I think it's important to note, Hardy, too. It's like we're focused on. You got a couple of camera guys here. One is much better than the other one, and that's the guy on the other side of the screen. But I got to tell you, there's, and you guys know this too, right? There's so many components that go into doing what we do. Video guys, tape operators, and people that sit at home or go to the local watering hole on a Sunday afternoon and they say, "Oh wow, look at that replay." It's not just us, right? It's you got.
Oh, that's why I'm inviting more people to the party. That's why I want this to grow. They're going to get more guys on the call. I have EVS guys lined up. The real biggest problem is I might have picked a bad time slot at 7:00, but that's the only time I could figure. This is the time that they figured it out from when I was teaching my class. I was teaching a night class, so I was like, I'll keep it like a night class thing. But I realized, unfortunately, like 2 guys tonight that were going to jump on the call had baseball. I had baseball last night, and the Mets played a day game. Did they lose today again? Or did
I have no idea.
They actually won.
Oh, they won last night too. So it was these games start to mean they're the ones that I think are meaningful for us because that leads to maybe some more playoff work for us if it happens. So
I will say, like Mario, I can't speak to your video department. I'm sure they're ultra talented, and your tape department is ultra talented. But for my money, like we got a guy named Dan Williams who's our video guy, and
he's great. I know Dan. He's a big
guy. Danny is. I tell you, man. The more I've gotten involved with more set days and coming in as an early guy, and to see the work that guy and his video team puts in, man, it's incredible the amount of work these guys do and how detail oriented he is and his team is, and dotting the I's and crossing the T's. It's incredible. I could never in a million. Just give me a camera to build and leave me alone, right? I just want to build it, fax it, bang, I'm done. Let's go to the next.
This has become much more than that. Like,
oh yeah, there's a lot of toys. A lot of
everybody,
toys.
It's really, it really has. Like, we have Brian Neer.
Brian Neer is incredible. Yeah, it's great.
All these guys talk to each other. Dan and Brian are very close. Chris Halloran, so they all
Chris Halloran's my fake brother-in-law, by the way. Just ask him, I'll tell you. But yeah, no, they're all. My point is, it takes a lot of really good people, and to make this all on every ESPN, on you guys, on our show, and listen, the Sunday Night Football guys are incredible. That is some production those guys put on. That is ridiculous.
Well, there's another one. There's another production happening tonight. That's that Thursday night show. I mean, we saw them. Well, week 1 when they were in New York and they did their boot camp here.
That's right.
They had so many trucks that they had to put like 3 of their trucks across the street and then run all their cables across this bridge across the street, which was that cable bridge, which was built for the World Cup stuff, because that whole area is going to become like a video village and stuff like that. But you're right,
it's still there. That bridge is still there.
I want to hear one thing.
It's staying until it ain't coming. It's not coming
next summer.
Stay until next summer.
I want to hear one thing. I said something before about Tony being unbelievable at that camera, and he is. And last year we made a change where I had my brother, and I don't, Eric, I don't know how often you work with Pablo, but like,
I know Pablo, yeah.
Guys, to me,
you guys had a point to point, right?
My brother, I still have it, and now Pablo has, like, basically, he's taking Gambino's camera, which was given to someone else somewhere else, that wasn't getting on the air nearly as much. So a lot of those pictures were being left on the floor, and now Pablo, being as good as he is he's getting them on TV now, and you're right.
That's the thing about the craft of EVS too. It's we shoot stuff, and we don't see, like, when you live in the world of that super slow-mo like when you're talking high frame super slow-mo stuff, the stuff that becomes usable are parts of the frame that we didn't see it. Like, we don't say, I hope he catches that. They're finding that, because you're taking 2 seconds and making it like 5. You know what I mean?
They can take like 10 frames and make it like a 3-second shot.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Which is just right to show the emotion of, like, the facial expression or all that. Like, those storytelling shots are fantastic with the super slow-mo stuff like that, and all those great. I mean, I think when you talk about big shows, and we thought you just mentioned the World Cup coming here, they are the kings of, because they have probably
fantastic.
They probably have a half a dozen cameras that are strictly just on crowd reactions, that are not even ever pointing at the freaking pitch.
I've seen them, like, sitting behind. I mean, I took my kid to a game once, and I watched those guys. They're pretty sharp. They map the field out, and they use a servo focus, and they know exactly what numbers they have those numbers marked on their viewfinder. I don't know if you ever knew that or not.
The servo with the servo focus. Would you ever have you? I
use a servo focus every week. I love it. I enjoy it.
But so you're servo focus and a servo crank too, right?
Yes, but I use a roller. I don't use the pinwheel or star, whatever they call it. I actually have a roller from Canon. I mean,
the focus roller.
I'm fortunate. I ask Canon for gear and they give it to me. Like, I know everybody else can't do that, but I'm lucky where they'll give it to me. Like.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get on their list, because I
run camera 14. Nobody even knows I exist.
Well, Canon has been phenomenal. I mean, they helped me out with the that sports broadcast workshop, and they sent me. I had everything, man. They sent me three cine lenses, 3 big box lenses. I had the servo crank, a regular crank. I had every option to build a camera, which was really cool, which is what I want. And people were like, they had no idea that you can go servo focus, manual focus, servo zoom, manual zoom, change the manuals, shot boxes. Like, there's the mixing and matching to set up a camera for your liking there's options, which unfortunately you don't always have those options with every truck. You're susceptible to what the truck or client has hired for that event that you're working.
Yeah.
But like, given the options that you guys have on an A show, and you can put in a request to get certain gear, it is great to get the gear that you want to be able to do your job the way you, like. I'm sure you got your stuff dialed in then on that cart.
Yeah, yeah. I've worked shows like local shows when the truck engineer will tell me, "Why would you want to use that?" I'm like, because I'm comfortable with it, and they don't even if they don't have it, I can use the other stuff. I'm not incapable of using a servo. I just prefer to use the other gear. I'm not one of these guys that's going to shit on someone because they use a servo. Like whatever you want to use, it makes you more comfortable. You use it.
Right.
That's the way I
I mean,
view it.
that's what I always tell
There are
people.
guys like don't use this. I'm not going to ever tell anybody what to use and not to use. You have to be comfortable, right? I mean, I get
No.
the banter going back and forth, telling people you're a sissy if you use a servo. But
Yeah, well,
I don't
I'm
agree
not-
with it.
for
Listen,
hockey, I
it's
use a
funny, but
servo
I
all
don't
the
agree
time.
with it.
You know, I'm doing this thing for my garage. This is my workshop. These are some of my tools in the background. And the thing about any tool is about learning how to use the tool and knowing how to properly use the tools for the job that you're doing. With the camera, it's the same thing. You have a ton of different tools. Some of them are physical tools like the servos and the modules and the other things you can change it. And the other tools are like in the menus. You can dial out, you can make all these different viewfinder settings and it's all about what you're trying to do to make your job easier for the assignment that you have. Like let me ask you guys, both you guys, because I know of me as a camera guy, and I get into my viewfinder. I have certain settings that I like, but I'll tweak them depending on daytime, nighttime, if I'm in a stadium, arena, are there tweaks that you do? Are there's a routine in your setup that you do once you jump on camera?
You want to go first, Eric?
Yeah, the only thing I do is I'll like, especially with football, I'll go to the back corner of the end zone and I'll take a note on where that focal limit is, where I've dialed in, and then I'll come near side because I'm a slash, so I just go from my side to. I don't have the left to rights like you do, where you got to really fight it all the time. And then the one big thing I do, being a reverse guy, I will go to, let's see, like Josh Allen tonight will be sitting on if you're looking at the field, Josh Allen will be on the right side, the first seat in next to the Gatorade cooler and the Microsoft box. I will set my focal on that seat. So I know when Mike Arnold starts yelling at me to find Josh Allen and I get him, I don't have to mess around my focus. I know it's like, 795 or whatever it may be. That's the only thing I do. I mean, I'm the wrong guy to ask for that because I'm not doing what you're doing.
You don't play with your crispening. You don't play with the.
My peaking. Yeah, I do. I do.
The peaking and crispening.
Yeah, I do. But more importantly for me is I go to the back corner of the end zone because I know a lot of times I have tight end ISOs, so I'll know if I got to be head to toe. I want to be in that range. And near side, same thing. And the other big thing for me is because I am so, like, if we're in Kansas City, I know that me and Chris McCullough will be responsible for either Kelsey or Mahomes. So I want to know where. A lot of times I'll just take Pat Mahomes, and I just know that that's my number, and I got to be there. I don't have to worry about it. I just dial bang and I go.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, really, not much. I mean, Mario, you could speak a lot more to that than I can because you're all over the place. You're up and down the field. I'm not.
Like I can't even use focus. I can't even like the numbers are always changing because you're moving the cart.
Exactly. Yeah.
The numbers will always change. I can say, the far side coach is going to be this number, but then I'm 20 yards down the field to my right, and it's like two numbers off. You know what I mean? So if I have an idea where it is, or maybe I don't even keep that in the viewfinder anymore. I did that for a little bit. My viewfinder has a cursor for the score bug. That's it. I don't do anything like that. I keep my peaking up, it's fairly high. My contrast I keep up high, and I keep the brightness a little lower.
I do too. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's a good trick to make sure you're in focus all the time. If you can fight through that, that's kind of like I think a good tip, right? I mean, other than that, like I don't keep much of my viewfinder hardy. I know a guy from San Francisco. He's doing a game right now. Zach Horgan. I don't know if you guys know him.
I know Zach very well. I travel with Zach doing A1 GP racing in Asia for years. Yeah.
He is the king of the menu. He can go on any of these cameras. He knows everything about the menu. If you get on a camera after him, you're screwed because you're not going to you have to get all that shit out of your viewfinder. Hi, Zach.
He's a good guy, Zach. He's a good dude.
I'm gonna open up the call for anybody who wants a question. Raise your hand, undo your video, and unmute you, and you can ask your question. See if anybody wants to jump on. Otherwise,
I'm here. I'm just letting the dog in the house. He's barking.
Yeah, it's another snack. Don't. He thinks I don't know. I know it's another snack, but doesn't. I got my snacks. We're waiting. When this thing is over, I'm digging right in. So I don't want to. Did he come back? Good. I don't want him to see it. He'll give me shit about me having snacks.
Mike's back. That's good.
Oh, Mike, wait, Mike, we got Mike want to raise his hand. Let me unmute.
Oh, that was a good snack.
Had him muted for a second there.
I had him unmuted. Did he unmute?
Yeah, I saw that. You had him unmuted.
Okay, boom. Asked unmute.
Yeah, we're going back and forth there already.
Hey, oh, sorry, Mike. I was hitting you. Yeah, I'm not a good TD, man. I'm more at least my headroom has been perfect all night. I just want to let everybody know.
Yeah, so I'm an aspiring camera guy. I mean, I am a camera guy, I should say. And I was just wondering, like, for you guys, what do you do, like, homework when it comes to, like, knowing who players are, knowing storylines?
Yes.
Like week to week.
Yes.
What is your prep work like?
Go ahead, Mario. You're up.
Well, I mean, today I watched some of the Bears because we're doing the Bears, and my dog's out here, and I noticed something about both quarterbacks because they were playing the Lions about, and I'm not going to say anything now, but like if you watch close enough the play-by-play footage from game, there are times you can tell when a team is going to pass the ball or run the ball by the body language of the quarterback. And I noticed something today about Caleb Williams. I noticed something today about Jared Goff. So like, yeah, I'm looking at that stuff. I don't do it as often as I should. Just for some reason today, I knew we were doing Caleb and he's struggling a lot, so, I wanted to, just take a look at it. And I was kind of shocked. And I would say 9 times out of 10, I knew whether it was a run or a pass.
Really? Huh? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I noticed that he didn't have any glitter on him the way JJ McCarthy said from the previous week. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I didn't.
He said he shook Caleb Williams' hand after the game and he had glitter all over him.
What was your name, buddy?
Mike.
Michael Tully.
Mike, hey, buddy. Nice to see you, man. I the only thing I will tell you is for me, a big thing is like tonight when I get off of this, because I'm flying tomorrow at I think 12 o'clock ish. I will take all the lineups, I'll take snapshots, and I put them on my iPad. So I just study every single. Listen, we all know who Jefferson is. We all know who JJ. Well, he's not playing tomorrow, but so that's another wrinkle.
Wentz. Carson Wentz is
right. Yeah, Carson Wentz is, and I get past that. I don't waste my time on that stuff. I look at the offensive linemen. I look at the tight ends. I look at the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, obviously head coach. And I'll go through that way. I want to know who the backup offensive linemen are. I want to know who the backup edge rushers are, because nowadays it seems like all these guys get hurt, 20 minutes into a game. Yeah. And just so I'm prepared. So when Mike Arnold, my director, is looking for, say the backup left tackle in the New York Jets, I know it's going to be, well, it's probably not Max Mitchell, right, Mario? Who would it be now?
No, I don't know.
Max Mitchell probably more of a guard, but I know to go to that number, and I know the directors appreciate it when you're prepared. So I think that's the biggest thing. I try to use my time and I study depth charts. I just want to know. I don't care about the starters. I think if you work in our industry, you all know who they are.
Yeah, I always looked at backups too. I always kind of wanted because when I was a handheld for a lot of years, that was always key. If somebody got hurt on the field, I wanted to know who the guy on the bench was going to be the guy who was getting up to be the backup. So I would always keep the 3 deep in my pocket, or I would normally, every camera meeting you'll get the the depth chart, the whole thing. They'll give you camera notes. They'll give you some other paperwork with some other stuff, headshots of key players or injured players or whatever else like that. But I'd keep that. I usually keep that 3. I'd give it to my utility and be like, if I need that, you got to keep it somewhere.
Yeah.
That would be the one thing I tell him, hey, someone got hurt. Is it 55 the backup? Well, who's the backup? I just want to make sure, because then I'm on the bench looking to get that shot. That's because then when you have the shot before the director asks for the shot,
that's great.
That's the best feeling. When he wants to know who that guy is and you already got it.
To me with Mike Arnold is always very he's quick. He's Mike's he does a great job calling NFL games. And if you have an opportunity to work with him, I've always loved the way he cut a game because he's very knowledgeable about football. I mean, all these directors are right. They wouldn't be doing what they were doing if they didn't know the game. But like Cardi just said, if like this weekend, like if I know if like Brian O'Neill goes down, like he's the right tackle. I know Moose is coming in, and I can literally swing my camera over and Mike Arnold could be like, hey, who's coming in? And I'll say, hey, Mike, look at 14. And this way he knows I'm prepared. He knows I care about what the product looks like. And, it's just better for the production. It's a matter of being prepared. And listen, it's 18 weeks out of the year, man. If you can't focus in for 18 weeks, you should be doing something else, to be honest with
you. It's 18 weeks and it's like 4 hours a week.
Yeah, it's
really,
you should really be, if you can't handle that, you should just probably go into entertainment.
Yeah.
Work at the View. Oh, sorry, Chuck.
I'm not gonna lie about this either. Like it's a lot different doing the camera Eric's doing up top because he's counting on him more for stuff like that than me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have all the space to hang that shit up on my camera. Like I have a 3 deep on there and that's it. Like some guys have like a lot of stuff hanging everywhere. Like there's nowhere I can't put coaches' heads. Where am I gonna put it?
Well, I'll say this: the one thing with Mike Arnold and Mario and I were lucky enough to work that Super Bowl, Brady's last Tampa.
In Tampa, we were in Tampa,
yeah, with the cutouts.
We had some good steak dinners away from the COVID.
Yeah, I mean, oh wait, well, I guess is it cool to say it now that we went out for steak dinners and then we saw all the CBS execs walk in and we were like, oh,
what are they going to fire us?
Yeah,
3 years ago.
Yeah, that was like, because like it was during COVID and everybody was supposed to be on like lockdown. But
okay.
Lockdown.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah,
right, whatever.
Yeah. Lockdown versus hangry isn't good, so we had to go eat.
I got to hang out with 3 legends and feel like an outlander. We had Frank Lombardo, Mario Zecca, and Nee Hardy. It was we hang out some good spots too. Yeah, some good spots. Yeah.
Well, that was
Jonathan Ogden.
Don't get me started. Why you gotta get me started?
I mean, I've had the pleasure of working Super Bowls with both of you guys, and we all did one together, the last one in Tampa, which was the weirdest one. I mean, of all the ones you've worked on, like to work a Super Bowl without any audience.
Yeah, it's so strange, right?
With the cutout.
Yeah.
I'll never understand. Like that was just the bizarreness of that whole the whole time was just
it was weird.
It was good, but it was a cool opportunity. I mean, the halftime show was phenomenal. I mean, the weekend ended up like my camera was built like into the stage, and it was great because it was not great because the people who built that stage for the weekend were his scaffolding was like state of the art, beautiful, shiny speed rail stuff, really put together. And I'm not saying CBS cut the budget. I'm sure they paid top dollar for my scaffolding from in Tampa. But man, it was the rusted thing that was rickety, and it was built in the middle of this beautiful structure was my little tower of and I had to go through their bars to get to get to up the top. And then when the halftime show,
I remember your position very well.
Yeah, and when the halftime show happens, next thing you know, I don't even know this, but like part of the thing comes up, and the weekend is like right there, and he has to go to his entrance from there. So I'm standing here waiting for the halftime, because I'm not going to make it down for halftime anyway with the stands and the scaffolding. So I was stuck up there. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to check out the show, and I'm waiting. And I knew all the dancers had come out to like the choir that was they were like up on the stage. That was part of where I was. But I didn't know where he was going to come out of. Next thing you know, he's like 5 feet from me, walking out up the stairs. I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, hey, and he gives me like a head nod before.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, like hi. Oh, I didn't know you. I don't think he expected to see me up there neither.
No,
biggest performance of his life, and he's like head nodding with you.
Yeah, I know. Well, he comes up the thing and he sees some freaking big guy behind a camera. Like, oh shit! Hey, I'm like, how you doing? And he went out. It was cool. Then he did that whole thing, and he goes down and he ends up on the field. It was a cool show.
It was.
But
it was cool.
I just felt like we did a great job capturing that. But those events are fantastic for the fans that attend them. Like that's what those shows, halftime shows, are awesome for a fan to attend. I mean, I was when we the Super Bowl that we did in Miami, not Miami, in Dallas, Mario. and it was the Black Eyed Peas, I think, were like the halftime show.
Yeah.
I remember because I had no assignment for halftime. Like normally as a handheld, I would have to go do something. They were like, no, don't worry about it. Stay on the field. Stay on the field. You know, we want to see if somebody comes out. I'm like, all right. So I end up sitting on the bench while the Packers went inside and watched the entire halftime show on like the best seat ever. And then the team came out like, all right, I got to get to work again. It was fantastic.
I'll never forget. I was at the Tampa. You talk about the halftime show. For me, you know, and again, you know, we're real lucky to do what we do and see the insights and all that stuff. And I'll never forget having the U.S. Air Force guys that were on the radios with the flyover guys next to my right, and they were timing out the anthem, which was sung by Eric Church. And I'll know there was Super Bowl 55, and I'm a plane geek, so they had a B-1, a B-2, and a B-52. And it flew over in unison. I was next to the guys, the Air Force guys that were talking to the pilots about the timing, slow down, speed up. This is where we are in the song. And I remember just telling my wife the next day, I'm like, God damn, how lucky am I to see that?
Yeah, you know, not everybody gets to see it.
How many people get to see that, right? I mean, it
You
was just
remember
me and those Air Force guys talking to those B-1, B-2, and B-52 pilots. And I'm going to myself, this is unbelievable. That's what this industry, you know, it affords us. You could put up with the other BS. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, those little moments of things that you can appreciate. And
it's
I mean, we're all grateful.
On the shoulder moment, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're all grateful for the opportunity and the access we're granted because of what we do and why we do. But we all recognize we're there because of the jobs that we do, and we want to do it. I mean, absolutely. I definitely, you know, I definitely want to take a moment when I'm there to recognize that moment. But I also am very focused on making sure that I deliver because you're like, I always said this. When I got into this business, I didn't think I'd be ever, you know, you set goals to achieve and you try to get to them. I always thought that the Super Bowls and World Series were going to be an unattainable goal. It was going to be tough to get to. And the fact that I've done it a couple of times it's and Mario, you've done it many more times than me. Like it never gets old because the opportunities, you're lucky to get them.
You don't take it for granted either. You know why you're there, and you don't never want to disappoint. I remember one year, Webb. I had been on the World Series crew for a few years, and I was doing a Giants and the Angels World Series. Was that 2000?
Was that the year of the earthquake?
No, that was way before. That was like
okay.
I think.
Okay.
And it was the year I met my wife, actually. And this is very interesting because he had me on mid-third. I wasn't doing little home at that point. This other guy, Benny from San Francisco, who was really good, he was doing it at that point. And Troy Glaus hit a home run. And I was doing the mid camera. It was in Anaheim. And I rolled my extender out as he was rounding second. And he cut to me as I was rolling my extender out. And I felt like garbage and you know how he was. He wasn't going to let me go on that. You know, he was like, what the fuck are you doing? Come on. And then, you know, after the game, I walked up to him and I apologized. And he said, you know, I bring you here for a reason. And that's not it. I know what you can do. And you fucked me on that. He was being brutally honest with me. And I couldn't argue with him. I go, yeah, you're right. And I'm not going to let it happen again. I felt like I let him down. And that's the thing, like, that always stayed with me. No matter what you do, you're there for a reason. They pick you, you know. What do they say? You're all like handpicked to be here. Every Super Bowl, every production team basically says that to us, right? I mean, you're all handpicked to be here, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, believe it or not, I believe it because I know the process more now than ever. Because, you know, I'm not saying I'm involved in it, but like, you know, I'm asked questions once in a while, you know, and I see how it all works. And you should never take it for granted. When you're there.
Yeah, I mean, we're all talking about the experiences of getting there, but like, you know, could I give you the roadmap to getting there? No, I will just tell you.
It's different for everybody.
It's persistence, man. It's just being persistent. You know, like Mario was saying earlier on, like, you know, he knew he wanted to do football, shoot football, and he was going to call them until they, you know. I don't care if I have to be annoying, and if I'm sending you an email every week, or I'm calling you. I know how to be annoying and polite at the same time. Hi, how are you? Nice to hear from you again. You know, just wanted to check in, see if you have any you know, need for a camera guy. I know you guys do a lot of sport. Whatever you have to say, you know. I mean, the hustle is real. Listen, all you want to do is get an opportunity. That's all everybody ever wants. I want an opportunity to show what I can do, and then when I get when you get the opportunity, show up.
Yeah,
Do all that.
I told Jane Granite, even if it's Sunday morning and someone gets sick, I will get myself there to do the game. And that's
My first Barry
what happened
Fiak job was a high school football championship for the city of New York. That was a Thanksgiving game. I had to get up there at 2:00 in the morning on a Thanksgiving morning, but I knew I wanted an opportunity to do sports because, like, I was a studio guy early on. I was an E&G, I did E&G. My only break into sports was because I was an E&G guy, and at the time, doing Yankees and Mets, there was always a separate E&G guy, and one of the times, one of the hard camera guys got sick or couldn't do a camera, and they needed somebody, and they were like, "Hey, you're going to go out there and do camera 4." And I was like, "All right, well, I'm not really a game guy," but then they talked me through it that first time, and then, as you got more comfortable, then it led to other things. I still feel like baseball is one of my weakest sports because I'm never on the same camera. I'm always jumping from camera to camera to camera. I've enjoyed doing different cameras, but some of them I enjoy more because I hope that I can get better at them. Like with something that you can do more often, you get better at. But like if you show up one day doing 4, and the next day you're on 5, and the next day you're on camera 8 and up out in center field, it's hard to feel in momentum. And sometimes because the crew shifts. There are guys like Keith, Winnie. Like Winnie was on low freaking third yesterday at Mets. For the first, I've never seen Winnie on a low camera.
That guy could do anything.
He could do anything, but normally he's such a good shag camera guy.
Yeah, but he's like anybody else though. You do the job. Like, you're there to do.
But that's because the crewers that we have in New York sometimes don't crew the show with some of the people that by positioning, knowing where they are best at. But like there are certain guys that are like Al. Al's also he's a high home guy. He's Mr. High Home for the World Series, but he's also I've seen him on the low cameras too. Like guys will jump around all the time, but I feel like to get really good in baseball, it's the repetitiveness. It's being on a camera for the homestand. Like if you get lucky enough to get or on a home or visiting show, and you get to do the same camera for the 3 nights or however long the team's in town for, and you're doing that same camera 3 nights in a row. By that third night, I really feel like I'm dialed in really good on that. And I like that feeling, when I'm going from camera to camera to camera, and I was on another camera last night, but because the crew had, shifted around, I'm on this camera. It's sometimes a little harder to feel as comfortable. I'll get through the game, but the comfort level might not always be there.
Hey, Mike, are you still on, Mike?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, man. So the one thing, I don't know if these guys can attest to it, but I spent so much time, trying to, I wouldn't say fit in, but just trying to prove myself and trying to, keep the wheels turning and making the money for my wife and my kids. And my wife's a school teacher. She does okay. I got, the kids in college, and you're worried about everything, right? I mean, can I do this? Can I sustain this? Can I travel and maintain a marriage? The biggest thing I would ever tell you is you kind of let that stuff go, and you just got to do what you got to do. That's gonna get you there, and you will get there. But there's a lot of moments where you're going to question yourself if this is the path you choose to follow. And I think these guys can attest. There's going to be moments you're like, man, can I do this? What am I doing? And it's not for everybody, right? It's really not. There's a lot of moments where you sit there and you question yourself, and you get off a plane one day and you're like, man, fuck, what the hell did I do to myself? Why am I doing this?
Yeah. We're all good camera guys, but we've all had bad shows.
And I think you still question yourself, but then there's that whole aspect, like how much do you want to sacrifice from your personal life? Because listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. There's a lot of sacrifice, man. There is a lot of sacrifice. You're going to miss barbecues. You're going to miss birthdays. You're going to miss Christmases. Oh my God. I haven't been home for Thanksgiving in 12 years. It's, and you will get there. Trust me, you will. Because there's not that many idiots in the world that want to do what we do. I'm just kidding. But you're going to get there. And at some point, you're going to have to make a decision. And just know that you got no matter what you decide, you got a really good group of people behind you supporting you outside of your home family. I hate the term the road family because, it's not your family, right? But it is a support system for sure.
Yeah,
And
that's one thing. That's the beauty of the crew. Crew becomes family, man. It really does. I mean, I'm still in. I've been lucky enough to be on 2 or 3 different travel crews in my career, doing different shows for CBS and for Fox. So I've had a chance to work for both of them in my career, and I was on different travel crews for both. I still keep in touch with a lot of the guys on both of those crews that I was on, because we were together for years on the road. I remember parts of their lives that happened during that time, good and bad. I was around guys when they had personal highs, professional highs, personal lows, and professional lows. Like, life doesn't change because of the job that you have. Your personal life and your work life will always be coexisting together. It's your job to find the balance of that, which is I mean, Erik is right. The sacrifice is tremendous on your family and stuff like that. But you weigh that too, right? You weigh all that sacrifice, because the benefits are the roof over your family's head, the food, the education that you're providing for them, your career fulfillment. This is a fulfilling career. It is, yes, demanding. I mean, let me tell you, there's no secret here. When do sports happen? Nights, weekends, and holidays, right? You want a 9-to-5 job? You're not gonna. Let me know. I'll be happy to sign up for that. You get the 1 or 2 day games, for baseball here and there, and you're definitely not gonna be done by 5. But
another thing though that could happen to you is you kind of like doing this. You put yourself in a box.
Yep.
You become like, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like you're like beholden to like the people that you work for a network all the time. Like I work for Fox almost exclusively. And like, if I want to get back in on the local market, it's very difficult, because people, listen, when you leave and you walk away, someone's going to fill your spot. And I once had Cornell, Donnie once asked me, well, why don't you just go back and just get right back? I'm like, yeah, but is that fair to the young guy that came in and took and filled
in the local market?
Yeah, that's not cool to do that to someone. How many guys would say, yeah, fuck that guy? I'm like, I can't do that to someone.
Yeah, that's someone's opportunity. Yeah. People fight.
Cool. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me either. Like I do look at that,
Well, hey, Mike, any more? Wait, before we get to Mike again, any more questions before? Because after this last question, I think we're going to end Crew Call Live, because there's a football game on that I think some of us going to want to watch. So we'll end there, man. But I thank everybody for participating this week, and hopefully next week we're going to have more people on, different positions, different people. Crew Call Live every Thursday, 7 p.m. or until I figure out what else I'm going to do on Thursdays at 7 p.m. But all right, go ahead, Brush.
Mike, real quick. The other thing I will tell you is, just because like you got Mario who thankfully logged on tonight and gives a different perspective than someone at CBS does. Don't think for a second that these careers don't intertwine and cross paths. One of my best friends in the world is this guy, Michael Drainus. We call him affectionately Drano. And I'll do NASCAR with him all summer long. And, we text all the time. But he's lucky enough to work with Mario every Sunday. I'd love to work with that guy every Sunday, but I go down a different path. But he goes to Fox, and so you'd be surprised. The networking that's out there is incredible if you really want to follow and pursue this career. It's and he's just one. He's just one example. He's just one example.
You will make great friends in this business. This is a collaborative work environment, and there's camaraderie. I mean, in reality, these two guys, we're all in the same market. We're all freelancers, and we all pretty much, you would think, compete for the work. But there's not a feeling of competition between us.
No, there's more
of a feeling of inspiration between us, because I watch these guys work, and it inspires me to make sure I bring my game when I show up to work. And I think that it's mutual. Like, the best compliment you get, because you're not going to hear it from the directors and the producers or anything else, or from your peers. They'll key in and be like, nice shot, Mario. You'll hear it. And listen, we all love Stendhal on Mets. Not everybody, the big joke is nice shot, Pete, because the guy's an artist, you know what I mean? But everybody gets that chance to get a little attaboy, and you get that accolade from a coworker. Those are the most meaningful compliments you will ever get in this business.
Yeah, more from any director, that's for sure.
All right, let's wrap this up. That was Crew Call Live, the second Crew Call Live. I hopefully recorded this one, because I messed up the record on the last one. But I've been enjoying the conversation. Last week, Drano was on this conversation.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. It was Drano,
Tony last week. There you go.
Drano, Tony Gambino, Corey Alberti and Mario join me. And
Hey,
next
you know what we got to do when the hockey season kicks in? Get some of the Turner guys on here, like
I want to
Smitty
get
and
some of the
Pidge and those
Canadian guys too. I would love.
Canadian guys, yeah.
Oh
Yep.
my God!
Yep.
You know, I know Al Munford. Al Munford is, you know, is retired now, but living up in Canada. But if he was, I mean, he was one of our. I mean, there's characters in this business. There's great guys in this business. He was both a great guy and a great character. So
oh gosh, right.
I don't know where he's. I don't know where. I don't know where he is right now. But like the last time I heard, I don't think that's ever going to happen, Hardy.
I know. But I mean, but we're all doing stuff.
That guy was hilarious.
He was hilarious, but he was a beautiful mentor of a guy.
Yeah.
Like he was a sweet. I'm talking about a guy. Al Mountford was a legendary cameraman. You know,
Tell him what he did.
He did freaking CBS Hockey Night in Canada, and then he ended up coming into our market and becoming a legend here. And then they actually
he did the Miracle Game.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, his credits are, you can't even name them all.
Yeah.
But it's not the work that he did. It was the amount of stories that he shared. He shared the fun stories and the work stories and the education, helped you with your. He was just wonderful in that respect.
He was very helpful. He was always very helpful.
I remember I said to Al Mumford one day, I said, "How's the Duchess, Al?"
Oh yeah, he called his wife the Duchess. Yeah.
He goes, "Well, Eric, I'll tell you right now. I got her a pair of socks and a dildo for Christmas." She said, "Hey Al, what's with the pair of socks?" That was Al in a nutshell. He was the best.
Yeah, he was a cat. He was, well, back in those days, you had less of the stringent in a compound where you could get away with saying some of the stuff back in the day. But honestly, did he say stuff? Did he say inappropriate stuff? Oh yeah, but he said it in the most loving, nicest. Oh my
great.
God, it was.
You know the background, right? His father was like a vaudeville performer
in Canada,
and he would throw him out there in front of to warm up the audience.
Yep.
That's how he learned he had to think quickly. Yeah, that's exactly.
He's like the Matt Kelly of cameramen.
Yeah. That's true.
Oh man! All right, last chance for questions. Raise your hand. I'll unlock you and everything. Oh look! Oh, this is over now. My daughter came in and she went on a Carvel run. All right. I got me a flying saucer. Thanks.
Nice.
Love you too.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, great. Oh,
yeah. Let's end it on that note, right?
Yeah. Were they built by the time you get them out to Long Island, or what?
Oh yeah, they
ain't making it out here.
Wouldn't last to the car.
My daughter just came home from grad school. I don't think she's got Carvel's flying saucers.
Yeah. Oh man. Hey guys, thank you so much and I really so appreciate your time.
All right, brother.
And the value of your experience and sharing it with the people today, man. I think it's awesome. I know we got a few people on. I hope this grows to week, and we get more people on, and we inspire the next generation to their own stories, and then they'll come on.
Yeah.
All right, guys, be good. Thank you all again.
All right, boys. See ya.
See ya.
Mary, have a good show this week, buddy.
You too, Eric. Take care.
Right,
safe travels.
Said hi.
See you, boys.
See you.
Oh Jesus! Now I'm sick.